but others benefit. Similarly, when others get educated, I benefit. And hence, it's very critical that the society desires. But the question is, what does an academic institution, a school or a college or university teach? Most people think it should teach skills. In today's environment, there's this whole environment, and I'll talk a little bit more about it. It says it should teach skills. It should teach what the industry needs. It should teach what the society needs. But the role of a school, of a college, is to help young people discover themselves. For them to find out who they are, what is it that they want to do, and what it is that they should do when they go out. How should be their response to the larger society? And this is about learning to ask the right question. And once you learn to ask the right question, you will learn to be able to actually change the world. A week ago, I received an email from a mother of one of our students. And she was very happy about many things, and then she was very unhappy about something. And which is very normal. I mean, it's normal to do that. But one of the happiness was, oh, your institution discusses things which goes against the belief of our family. And actually, I actually called this person up and said, well, I'd love to meet with you and have a conversation. But that's the purpose of education. The purpose of education is to make you uncomfortable. It's not to be able to tell you do this or do that, but to make you think very differently and make you uncomfortable. Education that doesn't make you uncomfortable is actually no education at all. And which is about asking questions. When you ask questions, some things will support your belief and some things will question your belief. And this is true for all of us. And that's, in my mind, a key purpose of education. So education is more than skills. It's also more than knowledge. It's about discovery of one's own thinking. So the next question then is, how does a society transit from one mindset and one generation to another? Okay. I mean, this is part and parcel of a dynamic society, that it moves. Young people become old and they take space, and then new young people come, new beliefs come, new way of thinking comes. How does a society manage this transition? And I think, as an example, this is a city which is actually moving tremendously from a very transaction-driven trading society and mindset to a very service, manufacturing, strategic mindset. And one asks the question, what makes this transition? And my belief is that it is innovation. Innovation and a new way of doing things, new way of thinking is what makes us transit from one mindset to another mindset. Now, innovation needs R&D. In the parlance of all the business folks sitting out here. And R&D, or research and development, needs deep capabilities. Right? Absorptive capability, ability to absorb, understand, innovative capability, ability to change things. Translational capabilities, ability to produce something, a copy which is much better than the original. Those are very many innovative ways in which one builds capability. And we must ask this question, it's a difficult question. I'm an academic, so I hope you'll permit me to ask difficult questions here. What fraction of firms in Gujarat have built deep capabilities that lead India or the world? Okay? But more than that, those that have developed, and there are many that have developed, those that have developed, how did they go about doing that? How have they built these capabilities? And if you actually look at it, invariably, you will find few things. There's a founder for the next generation, or a set of employees who have built deep expertise in. So that's number. Now, if we don't do R&D, how do we find solutions to various problems in this society? And you can see R&D in any which way. R&D can be developing a product, can be developing a different mindset, developing curiosity to do new things, to develop new processes, to develop managerial capabilities, to develop a new business model. All of that falls within this realm of innovation and R&D. Now, there's generally a tendency these days to decry conceptual or theoretical knowledge and substitute it with practical knowledge. I think they're complements of each other, not substitutes. Because to solve very complex problems, you need to understand, have deep knowledge about certain things before you can go and translate. Otherwise, we'll all become producers of drones through packages, rather than developing that technology ourselves. And if we really think about it, look at bridges that collapse, look at the trains that collide. There are very many reasons, ranging from poor ethics to poor execution, but most importantly, poor applications of science and technology. And this is really where academic institutions are at their best. Basic science and basic science research is done in academic institutions. Rarely do they get done in industry or elsewhere. They do translation and innovate tremendously to add value to basic science, which is done in academic institutions. So I'm kind of moving the clock of transition to this one small dot of learning and teaching and research of basic science and technology in a society. At a time when science is the new theory of development, Gujarat ranks in the lowest quartile on science education. The enrollment in science is the lowest in India, amongst all states in the 4 states, which includes Gujarat. Engineering education is in phenomenal decline. Students who take commerce and management don't do math after class 10. And in this day and age in business, and I think people sitting here and elsewhere would know that without data and without drawing insight from data, there's very little that you could do in terms of building capabilities of transiting a society into another level. And how would such young people lead society when they don't have these very fundamental capabilities? So it's very critical for all of us to understand. I'm not a scientist, so I'm not promoting myself, but I think science is the new theory of development. Technology is the new theory of development. We must engage with those who build, who teach science, and who do research in that. Look at Bangalore. Why is it that you will see very large number of biotech startups coming in Bangalore? Why is it that large number of chip design and other kind of startups happen there? Why is it that a large number of data science-centered startups are happening in Bangalore? There's one key reason, and that's an institution called Indian Institute of Science. If you do just a